coming here and seeing the amount of litter that is everywhere in Savannah, it's not just in our neighborhood, it's everywhere. It kind of took me by surprise, actually, because it's such a small, it's a beautiful city. But the litter is out of control.
To pick up litter in America is over $10 billion that we're spending to pick up litter. That is 10 times the amount that we're spending to pick up trash. It's 10 times. So the people that are throwing trash out everywhere are creating expenses for the other people that live in this community.
Littering is dirty and filthy, and you need to do something about it.
Littering is ignorance.
Litter is stupid. People who litter are stupid. If you litter, you're stupid.
People don't like to think of themselves as stupid. No one likes to be thought of as stupid. But if you throw trash on the ground, that's a stupid act.
The trash that piles up on Savannah's streets because of the neglect and disrespect of some people costs everybody in ways that you probably haven't ever imagined.
It's not just unsightly. You know, Malcolm Gladwell wrote in his book about the broken windows theory. And the theory goes something like this. If there's a broken window and the broken window is not mended, then there ends up being graffiti, then there ends up being litter, and then there ends up being more crime. If you take pride in a community and you ensure that there isn't going to be litter, that there aren't going to be broken windows, that there's not going to be graffiti, then there is less crime. It's a linear argument. So if we can eliminate litter, we can also diminish crime in our city.
People who respect their own communities, there's less crime and violence because that element doesn't show up anymore. You know, if you have a clean environment, then the people who don't respect environments that are clean don't want to come to that community any longer.
But it isn't just the community that suffers when trash takes over. The impact of litter goes far beyond the street you throw it into.
It's so pervasive. You know, once you drop a piece of trash on the ground, it doesn't stay where you left it. It gets washed out around by the stormwater. It goes down into the drainage canals and then out into these beautiful marshes that we have right here, and then eventually a lot of it ends up out in the ocean and it washes up on beaches. Then it's more than just ugly, and it actually damages the ecosystem, and it's been shown to be harmful to wildlife. There's wildlife that eats the plastic out in the ocean. Seabirds are famous for eating it.
Karen Graney heads up Clean Coast, an organization that regularly goes out to the Barrier Islands to clean up the beaches that have produced none of the trash that's found on them.
In fact, places where there's big cities, you know, the more people you have, the more of it you'll see washing out of the rivers and into the ocean and on nearby beaches, yeah.
You know, we started this about 3 years ago. We're just trying to keep Liberty Parkway and Rockdale clean, because it's a thoroughfare. People come through, they just be throwing trash out, you know.
What Karen does on the ocean, the men of Liberty City do on land. Once a month, the group gets together on a Saturday morning to clean up Liberty Parkway.
This is my neighborhood. I live here. And I've been out here 47 years. And we try to keep it clean. I hate to see people throw trash.
The men of Liberty City are a group of 16 men, ages 60 to 85, who've taken responsibility for the respect of their neighborhood. Coach Davis is there. James Cooper's helping. Eugene Wright uses his truck as a barrier to keep the group safe from jerks like this guy, while his son Sean straddles the ditch to clean the debris out. Sean is visiting from Atlanta, but
here when I was born here, my grandma was around the Port of Liberty City, so I always loved this place here.
That's the motivating factor behind all the men of Liberty City.
You want to keep the community where you live at looking pretty good.
We're trying to get together and keep the community clean and everything.
We are a group of men that's trying to show the youth what we do for our community. And once we start working as a group, the community pulls together, because there's a lot of young people live out here in Liberty City now that really don't know how to upkeep of their homes or pick up trash here and there. So as we get out in the neighborhood, they see us. That's why we wear these shirts like we do, so that neighborhood can see that we are the people that clean up our own neighborhood.
William Law is the leader of the group. He believes what Greg Parker said about the broken window.
Yeah, the more trash you see, the more people are going to put trash there. You know, if they don't see trash there, they may not put trash there. But if they see a bunch of trash there, they're going to put trash there. So that's one of the things why we want to keep it clean, so it won't encourage other people to throw trash. When people drive through here, it will look like a decent neighborhood. Okay, I mean, other neighborhoods are decent, and I know the city don't have the manpower to do this all the time. So that's why we formed in order to do it, so we can at least make the parkway look better. Anything that we see that we need to get done, we do it.
What the men are doing in Liberty City, Cynthia Hobson is doing in the Edgemere-Sackville neighborhood.
Everyone deserves to live in a clean, safe environment, and trash thrown on streets is not acceptable to me. Not only does it look bad, it's bad for the environment, because what happens when the trash goes on the ground, it goes into the sewer, and then it goes into the lakes, then it goes into the oceans, etc. So it's just bad all the way around.
The men of Liberty City pay particular attention to the storm drains and the ditches along Liberty Parkway. They know that what happens in those drains has far-reaching effects.
Well, what we've seen a lot of trash, a lot of litter that ends up in our storm drains. You know, whether it's being thrown directly in the storm drain in the curb inlet, or if it's thrown out on the ground, works its way during a storm event. It'll work its way down the curb line and into our storm drain eventually. Our storm drainage system in the city of Savannah is a direct feed to our natural water bodies. So once whatever goes into that storm inlet on the roadside or wherever you have an inlet around town, it's a direct feed through our pipes, through the canals, eventually making its way out to the rivers and natural water bodies. So whatever goes in that storm drain is not treated. It's going directly to, so that's your litter, your trash in general, your chemicals, yard waste, leaf debris. All that's going to make its way to the natural water bodies. Another issue with the litter and other debris going into the storm drain, you wouldn't think it, but our storm pipes, even a significantly sized storm drainage pipe, with enough trash and then mix in some leaf debris, some sticks, something to hold it, can actually clog these large diameter pipes. And you know, that then of course is going to lead to street flooding, structural flooding, water backing in the system. The system's not functioning as designed at that point.
People who litter don't have, in my opinion, aren't respecting where they live, where others live, the earth, our environment, or themselves. It's important to maintain a healthy environment for yourself, your children, and others. And when you throw trash on the ground, it shows a blatant disrespect for where you live. And I believe if people thought about it, they would think about it differently. Like, if you know that your trash is impacting your children's health, then why would you throw it on the ground? And why would you encourage your children to? But I've seen that the adults are throwing litter, are throwing trash on the ground, and so if you have a child that sees you do that, then they're going to do it as well. So it's just changing. We're trying to change the consciousness of people by doing the cleanups. To me, it's more than just cleaning up. It's actually changing consciousness, changing someone's thought pattern of how important it is to keep your environment clean, not only for your own health, but everyone else's health that lives around you.
Bryn Grant is the CFO for the Savannah Economic Development Authority. In her role, she often shows prospective businesses around the city, and they don't always like what they see.
There have been times where I've been embarrassed, and times when it has been mentioned. So I think that while I cannot say that a company did not or does not come to the Savannah area or any area because of litter, I think it contributes to the overall character of a place, the overall ethic of a place.
That unpleasant experience led Bryn to Greg Parker, other private companies, and the city of Savannah, as the groups all came together to put an end to the easily preventable blight in Savannah.
I believe that littering is an ignorance, and that if you could make people aware of that behavior being an ignorant behavior, it's a very simple thing to stop. So when I shared that idea with you, and an idea for actually at the time it was just a PSA idea, it has since you got involved grown enormously. But you were right on board from that very first minute.
Yeah. I think we were at a CETA board meeting, and Bryn came up with this idea. What can we do to create public awareness? What can we do to make people understand that littering is not only wrong, but it's stupid behavior? And if we could create that link between stupidity and litter, that we might be able to influence people not to litter. That was the original basis of the idea.
Exactly right.
And from there, we went to the city of Savannah and we said, can we create a public-private initiative where we put private dollars and marry them with public dollars, and then we can go about effectuating our goal.
Education, and then later, through our leadership team, the idea of enforcement. The idea that one of the things that helps people to come to greater awareness of a behavior that is frankly criminal is through enforcement. So the city marshals began issuing
courtesy tickets.
Courtesy tickets, not actual tickets, but courtesy tickets. And I think it's something that we're hoping the police department will become more aware of. And if they see someone littering, that they will issue tickets. That doesn't have to prevent them from stopping much more serious or violent crime, but maybe along their daily business, it's something that we as a whole community, from law enforcement to the business community to the city government, can help bring greater awareness to and stop it, because it really is a simple behavior change.
Working together works. When the city as an entity attempts to implement a program, we have limited resources, both human resources, both financial resources, and limited means to accomplish that we start. But when we pull in the community, the private sector, the churches, the neighborhood associations, and all of the those components that make up what we call the community, it becomes a group project. It becomes us. Everyone has skin in the game.
The problem that Bryn and Greg identified has developed into a plan to create a better city by encouraging a small but effective change in behavior.
There were three legs to the stool. The first was we had to create awareness and education. And so we started doing things using television.
Littering. It's trashy, stupid, and illegal, and it doesn't belong in the streets of Savannah. That's why we need your help to stop people from trashing our city. When you see someone littering, take a photo or video, then post it to social media and use the hashtag LitterCrew. You could win gift cards, parking passes, and more. The message is clear. Think before you throw. Or get called out publicly and pay a big fine. Make a difference. Find out more at KeepSavannahClean.com.
And outdoor advertising. We've now wrapped many of the sanitation buses saying things like, litterers are criminal, litterers are trashy, litterers are stupid. And we want to make people understand that, that's not the best behavior. And then Bryn came up with another idea, and that was to get into the schools, to have ambassadors in the schools. Can you tell them about that?
So we established last year for the very first time the Keep Savannah Clean High School Leadership Council. We had, I think, 12 representatives from 12 different schools, and since this is an all-volunteer effort, entirely volunteer, and lots of supporters from the business community, the City of Savannah, Parker companies, we had to limit the number that we even requested. So we reached out to some schools. We got about 12 responses. We hope one day that we'll be in every one of the high schools. But it is a program that allows a high school junior to sit on the Keep Savannah Clean High School Leadership Council and then participate in driving awareness in their own schools about litter and about how easy it is to change, and about the effects of litter on the environment, the effects of litter on investment, and how they can stop it.
Even if they do something really small, as just picking up a trash they see on the road, that has a really big impact. And that whatever small thing or something big that you do always does come back.
Deborah Johnson was the litter campaign champion last year at Woodville-Tompkins High School.
We had many tasks to do, so some of them was like get our students to like the page on social media, to get an assembly. We'd get Mr. Greg Parker and Miss Bryn Grant there to the school and talk about it, to start a club at our school, and things like that to help bring awareness to our school.
Deborah won a $150 gift card for successfully reaching a set of goals that point toward progress against litter.
We each had 5 tasks to do, so it was like the social media to get people to like it, to get the assembly, to start a club, to adopt a street. So once you hit all 5, then that was our target, to hit 5, and most people to try to do as much as you can at your school.
This year, we hope to kick off in the next month with our second High School Leadership Council. And the council itself gave us a lot of great ideas about how to improve their engagement and advance that goal. It's a great leadership opportunity for high school juniors. They have an opportunity to see community activism, positive community activism, right up front, and to really make a difference and to see how things work and how they can affect change.
If any group can bring about significant changes in behavior, it's the high schoolers, who already proved their imagination and activism at Savannah Arts Academy's annual Junk to Funk fashion show.
Among my various materials, I used obituaries from the newspaper, and I used croaker sacks and toilet paper rolls and cat food bags for the skirt that I hand sewed together.
I love and appreciate all the artistic energy that these kids, they feed off of each other, and to see them working on a project that they're so passionate about and then get to share with the community is beyond my wildest expectations and dreams.
The holistic approach to tackling the litter problem has been enthusiastically received by the business community, which has joined the effort. Among the supporters are BB&T, Brasseler USA, Carrie Hilliards, Savannah Area Chamber of Commerce, Chatham Orthopedic, Clear Channel Radio, Delaney Industries, Envirovac, Forum, Gulfstream, Hunter McLean, JCB, J.E. Dunn Construction, Judge Realty, The Kinnickle Group, Kessler Properties, McDonald's, Parker's, River Street Suites, Savannah Downtown Business Association, Savannah Morning News, the City of Savannah, Savannah Tire, Seacrest Partners, Savannah Economic Development Authority, Savannah Hilton Head International Airport, Southern Motors, Thomas & Hutton Engineering, TitleMax, and WTOC. Their support has allowed the Keep Savannah Clean program to have both a carrot and a stick. The stick is peer pressure.
If people witness somebody littering, let's say you're at Tybee and you see a bunch of people leaving trash and litter on the beach, or somebody that's throwing trash out of their car. If you can get a picture of those people, or you can get a video of those people, you could submit it to our website. And we have hashtag litter crew. We have keepsavannahclean.com. And the other way we can do it is hashtag notrashsav.com. So then you can download your video or your picture to that, and we're going to post it. We want to have postings of people picking up trash too, but let's catch the people that are littering out there, and let's use collective consciences to change behavior.
But there's a carrot too, in the form of rewards from the participating businesses.
Tell us why you picked it up?
A lot of people throw trash down here, and I feel that it's wrong. If I see it down there, I just pick it up.
That's awesome.
I wish I'd have seen him. I had to do that thing y'all got to take a picture of.
And bust them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's wrong. You know, you shouldn't throw trash on the ground. All these trash cans out here.
And tell us your name?
John Reynolds.
John Reynolds. Okay, well, to thank you for picking that trash up, we've got a $25 Parker's gift card.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I sure appreciate it.
Thank you. Keep picking up that trash.
I will. Every time I see it, I pick it up.
We're asking people to submit videos so that we catch people doing good acts of picking up trash. Now, we've done that with our committee as well, where we've walked out into the streets, viewed people picking up trash, and what we do is we give them prizes. We give them Parker's cash cards, $25 cash cards for catching them doing good things. We give them free Happy Meals from McDonald's for picking things up. The city of Savannah is giving free parking passes for people that we catch doing good behavior. So it's not all about the negative. We want to educate, and we want to reward good behavior, and we want to punish bad behavior. And by doing all of these things, we think that we can eliminate 50% of the litter in our city, hopefully in 1 year.
This is like breaking old habits. And we have learned from our childhood to adulthood that it's hard to break habits. Going into a store, getting a candy bar and throwing the wrapper on the ground instead of walking 3 feet over to place it in a garbage receptacle has just become a habit, throwing it on the ground. So we're trying to change behavior, change the culture, and we must do that one step at a time. For us to declare a decree is not going to make people change their habits, but through education, through modeling good behavior, and through some enforcement, it's going to help over a period encourage people to change their behavior or suffer the consequences.
Savannah is the most beautiful city in America, but too often her streets and neighborhoods are blemished by litter, by stupidity. Keep Savannah Clean has as its goal the reduction of litter by 50% in the next year. We're confident we can do this because of the great forward-looking foundation that's been built for the initiative, beginning with a broadly based public-private partnership, and then continuing with education for our students, incentives for good behavior, and punishment for bad behavior. Litter is stupid. And as stewards of this great city, it's our responsibility to stop stupidity, wherever we can, with all the tools we can muster. We can't lose when we assemble a team that includes the men of Liberty City.
Each one of us, we take pride in our neighborhood, and we do this once a month, and we hope that we can get more folks out doing the same thing to help us keep the neighborhood clean.
Pinpoint the illegal dumping and all that stuff, and tire dumping and stuff, and littering. People pass through the neighborhood, they throw papers out, and so we just try to keep our neighborhood clean and keep the neighborhood beautiful.
When we started this, and you saw we had a lot of litter today, okay, but that wasn't nowhere near what it was when we first started, okay. It did cut down on the amount of litter. It cut down on the people at the bus stops, putting trash all around the bus stops and everything. And people did seem like it, well, not only the people, the neighbors here, but people going through the neighborhood, we got less trash coming in. Personally, I don't understand why they got to just throw something out the window. Littering is dirty and filthy, and you need to do something about it. And you can do something about it by not doing it.
There's a battle going on in the Edgemere-Sackville neighborhood where you can ride from pride to neglect in less than 50 yards. Cynthia Hobson's group is committed to seeing pride win.
We want our community to be a clean, safe, blight-free environment for our immediate community and those who come to visit.
Our waterways are patrolled by Clean Coast, an organization that understands that litter anywhere in Savannah is litter everywhere in Savannah.
I really love how beautiful our coastline is here in Georgia, and I love to go out and visit these remote beaches, and then I like to also keep them that way by removing some of the trash off of those islands. And I feel like I feel privileged to live here in such a beautiful place, and I feel like it's important for me to do something, you know, to help keep it that way.
The city of Savannah is not just fully committed to the initiative, they see the public-private partnership as a template that may well lead the way for future improvements.
Kids tend to model the behavior of adults, and if we actually start changing our habits or changing our action, the kids will follow. But we also need to make sure that we're proactive in that regard and that we institute an educational component. We need to make sure that we go into the school system and make sure that the students understand why it's important to clean up the community.
For their part, the young people understand what's at stake.
Because, I mean, we are the rising generations. We are the ones who are going to take over this earth in a few years. So we should care enough to protect our home, to keep our home clean. So when our kids and our great-grandkids are here, it's a good place for them to be.
Here, then, are the action items. Don't litter. Pick up litter where you see it. If you see someone litter, snap a picture or a video and post it. You could win rewards. Litter is trashy. Litter is illegal. Litter is stupid.